don't even know.
I was right. I was having a total brain fart.
It's all right, Darren.
I'm sucker for the bones in the drop. I got it. Brain fart. Never mind.
Keep it smooth.
Yeah, Darren.
Are you strong? You
That's another one. Yeah, I like playing that one.
Here we are at the Music Connection here in Danvers, and we're with a very unique group of students who are all teenagers who happen to be in a band called Exit 18. One of their mentors and musical directors is here with me, and this is Randy Leventhal. Randy, welcome to Exploring the Arts.
Glad to be here, Ed. Thanks.
Tell me, what makes this group of teenagers so different and unusual musically?
Oh, they're, well, the main thing is they write their own songs, and they're great. They're songs you'd think you've heard on the radio a million times. They happen to have Julia and Sean both write great songs. Darren and Doug back there can play any instrument you ask them to do. So it's sort of a super group, and it's a pleasure working with these guys. They're awesome.
I understand there are actually two groups put together into this one band.
Yeah, Julia has been singing for years. I think she was in the first band when she was maybe 11 or so. With her brother Dylan. I think you're familiar with his work. And they were in a band. Yeah. Good-looking son of a gun. So anyway, they were in a band called One Track Mind, who were amazing. And then unfortunately, those guys grew up a little bit and went off to college. Mm-hmm. So sadly, Julia was left without a band, and I said, well, let me get the All-Stars for you. And I've been working with Sean, and I've been working with Darren and Doug, and I said, this is just going to be bananas, and it has been.
It has been. What's the role of the drummer in the band? What's the important thing for you?
I'd say keeping everything up and moving as good as possible, not letting things drag or get slow. You know, pushing these guys.
So you're really responsible for that rhythm, aren't you?
Oh yeah, and this guy helps.
Is there a lot of
too.
pressure being a drummer?
I mean, I guess, because if you're slow, then everyone's slow, and then the song's lacking what it should have. So I guess I try not to think about it too much, because then it's a mess.
And Darren, now you play, what, is it bass guitar?
Yeah, the bass.
What's the role of the bass guitarist in a band?
Probably to keep the rhythm in check, I guess, with the drummer, and just to keep the backbone of the song together.
It's like the heartbeat.
Yeah, those guys are a team, you know,
Very
that's the rhythm
good.
section.
Very incredibly important.
And they
to a
used to
band,
do
isn't
the
it?
opposite instrument.
Oh, really?
Up until a month ago, Darren was on drums and Doug was on bass, and they both secretly wanted to do the other. I'm like, let's just do this thing. And they instantly fell in, and the band sounded like got an adrenaline shot, you know?
Yeah.
I was talking to Darren before everybody came, and I was telling you guys how much I love the name of the band. How did that come about? Darren, why don't you tell us?
We live off of Exit 18, so it was only appropriate to have the name
That's too
Exit 18.
simple.
Yeah.
But it sounds a lot more deep. No one understands.
Yeah.
Alright, you gotta tune again, and you gotta hold them back.
I know,
That song's too fast.
I forgot how the
Yeah,
song.
I don't want that one.
I know, yeah, I just didn't know if it was. I forgot.
You gotta trust your tuner more than your instinct, right, is to like tune kind of most of the way and then just turn it on and then do it by ear. You gotta trust the tuner, you know? Because remember, you can tune a guitar, Sean, but you can't tune a fish.
That one's on camera.
Thank you. Were we on?
Yeah.
We got that one. Music for the band.
We do.
Do you collaborate? Do you get together, or do you write separately?
We both think that it'd probably be in our best interest to write together and get it done right next to each other so we could have both of our ideas in one song. But as we have it at the moment, we come to rehearsal with our songs already written, songs with parts written for the other members of the band, and so far it's worked out pretty well for us.
How do you write a song?
I always start with writing if I find a good riff.
The song Tragedy, how did you think of that, and how did that come about? Something tragic happened in your life?
No, that just, I come up with a melody sometimes in my head, or a certain, I don't know, like a certain phrase.
Like when you're in algebra class, you begin
Yeah. So I'll come up with a phrase, literally, and I'll do it in the middle of class and write it down, and then I'll bring it to my house, and then usually I have a bunch of different riffs that I haven't done anything with, and then I'll put music to it.
And what about the lyrics? How do they come about?
It depends on whatever I'm feeling at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the times the music will be influenced to whatever I'm listening to or what's happening in my life too.
Do your other bandmates influence what you do in terms of the music? Do they,
I understand the styles that we all listen to, so I try and write in a way that we can all collaborate with it.
And Julia, how do you get your inspirations for your songs?
How do I get my inspirations? Well, inspiration is kind of a fickle entity. It comes and it goes, and you never really know when it's gonna hit you, but when it does, it's usually something that's very personal to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first song that I wrote for the band was called You Can't Trust the Summer. And that song was about how in the summertime, the feelings that come over you and the things that happen are kind of painted in like a golden light. And then when it gets cold in the winter, everything sort of dies, and you can see people and situations for what they really are, and the bare bones really come out.
Sounding good. Yeah, you didn't even need the boost on that solo, right? That was good. You're starting to feel it out. It's good. Douglas, that was much better. Holding it back, you feel it. It's good.
It's like, I need to always start telling myself it's okay to go slow.
Right! You're so afraid of the song, like even in the interview, you're worried about dragging so much that you're off to the races, you know what I mean?
I understand you're going to be playing at the brand new Cabot Theater, which incidentally was built in like 1920.
Yeah, it's like the coolest thing that we've done so far. It's a hometown gig, which is something cool, and it's a big place, and we're hoping to get a pretty good crowd there too.
As Randy pointed out, you write a lot of the music for the band. I understand one of the songs was played on the radio station, was it not?
Yeah, it was called...
It was a competition. What was it called?
It's called It's a Tragedy, and that was on 92.5 The Rivers Music Matters contest.
How was it, you guys, feeling and hearing one of the songs that you did on the radio? It must have been quite a thrill, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It was cool.
So listen, again, you're going to be opening up for the Grand Cabot show on this coming Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of your friends and family looking forward to it, but I want to wish you the best in your performance, and I'm going to be there checking you out.
Touch